Hey folks, I decided I needed some practice just steering my drone manually and things like that. And this video is probably a little bit embarrassing because I'm just it demonstrates how bad I am at it. But and I've learned some things though, and I'll continue to do some practice. This house is surrounded by trees and woods and so forth, so there's no way to do any kind of return to home with this drone because I'd have to fly up way high above the trees, and if I'm under the trees, I can't. The drone won't be able to get up there, uh, and then come down in some little narrow spot. So I want to practice that out in the field somewhere where I can do that, but I don't know how often I'll have the return to home ability. So basically, I need to be able to see the drone at all times. I did try to take some cinematic footage of the trees, and I did get the drone beyond my sight. I flew over quite high to the next neighborhood above the trees and everything, and it was really cool looking. Then I realized I couldn't see the drone, and I didn't know how to turn it around and get it facing back towards me. And the little control monitor that I see, I don't see any kind of way to head back home for that. And I don't know, I've seen it on other people's video footage of that where they recorded the screen, but I don't know how to get in that mode. So anyway, I've got to figure that out. But anyway, the other thing I've learned is you see me turning around right here. That's not very cinematic. In other words, it's 24 frames per second or whatever it is, and I really need to be doing 60 frames per second, 4K, if I want cinematic footage. So I continue to get confused on how to get the how to which direction works the gimbal. That ought to be easy, but I need to just practice that one thing for a while. And then I'm confused about tripod mode versus sport mode. I was thinking the S stood for slow, and I had it in sport mode. And so I need to get figure out how to get in tripod mode. Well, I know how. You just turn the button to the left, but I haven't experimented with that yet. So I want to see how that works. Here I am just flying above the house, and you can see this is a good way to see how much of those seeds that fall off the trees are sitting on top of the gutter guards and things like that. And it takes a long extension ladder to get on top of that roof from the back here and do stuff. But anyway, with my vertical, I'm not climbing an extension ladder to get up on a roof, but I do have some guys that do yard work for me that can do it. But anyway, I've done this first little section here, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna land it yet or not. No, I'm not. I'm going to take off again. Yeah, I'm trying to look up at myself here. And so I had two little practice sessions. So I decided I want to keep on practicing. And one of the big things is looking at the drone, knowing which way to turn it, because I have to turn it. I mean, if I want to go left, I got to be thinking from the opposite side. So I have to actually go right uh, from what I'm looking at. So, but if I'm looking at it going away from me, that's easy to go left and right. So here's obstacle avoidance in action. It just climbs by itself to get above this hot tub here. There's a dogwood tree up above, and here is some azaleas blooming down below there. And here I'm confused. Where do I go next? And I want to point the gimbal down so I can see below me, and then I need to be able to do all these things smoothly. Um, so looking around here, uh, and there you see my tractor up under the deck right there. um, Now this is I think the second. No, it's not. Uh, I must have put a transition in there. I'm not sure why I did that. I was thinking it was the second session, so to speak, of practice. But anyway, see, it doesn't look good when you're panning with that 24 frames per second. Once you go slow and still let the drone move around, it looks pretty good. I want to get over to that table and land on the table, I think. Now, see, I go right instead of left, and that's just part of the practice. I need to get good at it. And wanted to point straight towards that table and then fly over it. And I think I'm in sport mode, so the controls are very sensitive. So I'm messing up a little bit because of that too. And at first it doesn't want to land because of that glass surface, but then I think it gets comfortable with it and lands just like that. So now we'll go into a transition to the second part of it. All right, so I started it up again, and so I'm flying this way, and I'm wanting to uh, experiment a little bit more. And I'm moving it down slowly, using both controls at the same time, one to push forward and one to pull down. And I have no real plan on where I want to go, but I do want to see more things. So I moved the gimbal down some, and I was thinking about going down that trail a little ways, but then I decided not to. All right, so now I'm going to, heck, I don't know what I'm doing, but you can see it's not very good. This is not very interesting video, but I do want to get to where I can do some cinematic footage of the house nestled in the trees and flying around with it as a point of view, uh, and then circling around way up high above in the trees and so forth. And I do want to take stock footage of all the property as best I can. Maybe that'll have to be a wintertime project. There's the road I built to get around the house on the tractor and so forth. So there's a driveway up to the underdeck tractor storage, and then there's the road winding off in there. So I'm going to fly down the road here, I think. Yeah. So I'm wanting to fly over to that concrete deck out there. By the way, I poured all the concrete with a concrete buggy, a track buggy, and had a crew of guys helping to finish it and everything. And this concrete deck was stained with a finish uh, to make it look that reddish color, which looks real nice, I think. I've gone too far, and I wanted to stop about right there. There's my wood storage in a little canopy roof that I had built over that. It keeps it dry, and that way quicker to make fires and so forth. And that's a log splitter right there. I like using smaller logs, so I split it up a lot. Then I can just store that back up under the deck. So I'm stocked up for next winter. Just figuring my way to how to fly around and so forth. And now I think I'll come back. There I am standing on the deck above there, so I'll fly back towards me along this road here, this gravel road, to get from this deck over to the underdeck, under the underdeck storage here where the tractor is. That's how I'll walk over there. So that's a hill going down, and so I needed to make a flat walkway, and so I used cross ties as a to hold that gravel back. Water can still go up under the cross tie through that gravel. I didn't want it to have to do the flight avoidance around me, so there that sport mode is in there. So now I'm still flying around. This is just goofing off. So if you're watching this, you're really bored, because I am. This past summer, I put all these cable wires around this fence so that I could have the grandkids over and not worry about them falling off the deck. They were forbidden to go out on the deck without an adult holding their hand the entire time. And now they can run freely. They've tried it a couple of times, and that it's just so freeing to have fences. This is the uncommon idea that putting a fence around a playground is not constrictive. It is freeing to kids that play on a playground. They did a study and found out that kids that where this church took the fence down around the playground because it thought it would make it more freer for the kids. And the kids huddled in the middle of the playground mostly and didn't go to the edges because that was fearful. And they had to put the fence back up, and now they roam every square inch of it because there's a safety feeling there. So I guess I'm going up to try my hand again at flying around the rooftop or whatever. I'm wanting to go get on the other side of this house and get some footage over there. There's an unsightly scar in my driveway where I had to get some concrete put in there. I've left room to put more asphalt, but hadn't done that yet. That's where I had a water main break going from the street to the house, and it was we were out of town, and it was leaking for about a week. Not just leaking, I mean it was gushing out from under the driveway and everything. And it took a plumber uh, an entire day to find the leak because he had to get a jackhammer and hammer through the driveway to find it. And we kept moving. That's why it's odd shaped square sections. We dig down one section, and when we finally found the pipe, it wasn't where the leak was, but we knew how to follow the pipe because we knew it was going straight. So that was an interesting job. I'm wanting to try the turn and moving at the same time, and still not good at it. All right, this is going to be close to the end of this thing, I think. I go down here one more time and then come back. That was obstacle avoidance causing the drone to go up higher. Okay, we're going to land one more time. And that's it for the practice session. Need to do it a lot more. There's some quick shots that you can do with this drone, and I want to try those, but they're really only good in an open field. Okay, that's it.